What kind of monster smashes a dying mother's last gift to her daughter? I was sipping coffee in my kitchen when I heard my 9-year-old Lily scream, her voice slicing through the morning calm like a siren. Outside, 3 goons in HOA shirts were tearing apart her treehouse, her sanctuary, the one thing her mom, Claire, left her before cancer stole her away. My mug hit the floor, shattering as fury surged through me. Those suburban tyrants had no clue they just picked a fight with the wrong dada guy who used to take bullets for presidents in the Secret Service. My name's Ethan Carter, and this is the story of how I turned our quiet neighborhood into a battlefield to save my little girl's dreams. We'd moved to Willow Creek 3 months after Claire's death, hoping for a fresh start. Lily was a ghost of herself, barely talking, curling up with her mom's old scarf for hours. The treehouse was Claire's idea, sketched in shaky pencil during her final days in the hospital. "Build it for her, Ethan," she'd whispered, her voice faint but fierce. "Give her a place to dream when I'm gone." I poured my grief into every nail, every board, using weathered oak from an old barn Claire loved. It had a secret nook for Lily's treasures, a skylight for stargazing, and wind chimes made from shells we'd collected on our last beach trip. The local hardware guy, Joe Tanner, tossed in free paint when he heard the story. "Lost my wife too," he muttered, shoving cans into my hands. "This matters." But Cynthia Reynolds, our HOA president, didn't care about matters of the heart. She strutted into my yard like she owned it, her manicured finger jabbing at Lily's treehouse. "This violates aesthetic guidelines," she declared, her voice dripping with that smug suburban power that makes you want to scream. Behind her were her enforcers, Greg Vaughn, a hulking ex-bouncer who looked like he wrestled his own ego, and Sandra Miles, the HOA treasurer, clutching her clipboard like it held state secrets. They'd shown up at 7:15 a.m., knowing most neighbors were gone, thinking they could wreck Lily's haven unnoticed. They'd already ripped down the rope ladder Lily had mastered with blistered hands. Sandra snapped photos like it was a crime scene, which, to me, it was. Lily clung to the tree, sobbing. "Daddy, this is Mommy's house. She made it for me." Her words hit like a punch. For a second I saw Claire's smile, heard her laugh as we planned the treehouse together. My view sound blurred, but my training kicked in: compartmentalize, assess, respond. I stepped onto the porch, voice steady despite the storm inside. "You've got 10 seconds to leave." The neighborhood went quiet, even the birds holding their breath. Cynthia's smirk flickered as she clocked my stance, feet planted, shoulders squared, the posture of a man who'd face real threats, not just HOA bullies. Greg, too cocky to notice, grabbed a crowbar and moved toward the treehouse's main beam. 9 seconds, I said, eyes locked on his. He stepped forward, cracking his knuckles like some wannabe tough guy. "What, you gonna call the cops? The law's on our side, pal." He waved at Cynthia's paperwork like it was a royal decree. I glanced at Lily, trembling against the tree, then back at Greg. A slow smile crept across my face, the kind that used to make foreign diplomats sweat. "No," I said softly. "I've got something better in mind." They backed off that day, but not before Cynthia slapped me with a DULA 5,000 fine for unauthorized construction. As their car peeled out, I knelt beside Lily, wiping her tears. "Daddy's not letting them take your treehouse, sweetheart." Her green eyes, so like Claire's, flickered with hope. "Promise?" I hugged her tight. "Promise." That night, after Lily fell asleep clutching her stuffed owl, I sat with a bourbon and Cynthia's citation. The DULA 5,000 fine wasn't random, it was too specific. I fired up my laptop, digging through public records, HOA minutes, anything I could find. 3 hours later, I had a timeline that screamed corruption. Fines always hit odd amounts: DULA 3,200, DULA 5,400, never round, always matching gaps in the HOA's financials. Property records showed a pattern. Every family Cynthia targeted had young kids. The Thompsons got hit for DULA 4,000 over a basketball hoop. The Garcias paid DULA 6,500 for a playhouse. The Coopers shelled out DULA 3,800 for a swing set. Cynthia had moved to Willow Creek 5 years ago, fresh off a messy divorce and disbarment for financial misconduct. She'd seized the HOA in 6 months, stacking the board with loyalists. Fees had spiked 300 fan tram, and anyone who challenged her got slapped with special assessments. The next morning, I watched Cynthia make her rounds, measuring grass with a ruler, snapping photos of minor infractions. She paused at my house, staring at Lily's treehouse with a predator's gaze. But something else caught my eye. She stopped at her own place, glancing at her second-story window. For a split second, her face cracked, showing raw pain. Loneliness, maybe regret. It vanished fast, but it stuck with me. 2 days later, Sandra showed up at my door, nervous as hell. "I saw Greg's kid bullying Lily at the playground," she whispered, glancing over her shoulder. "I had a daughter once. She'd be Lily's age now." Her voice broke. She handed me a USB drive. "This has everything, the real financials, not Cynthia's fakes." The drive was a goldmine. Spreadsheets showing 3 years of embezzlement, Dulaw 5,000 fines tied to missing maintenance funds, fake contracts with Apex builders for non-existent repairs, even vote rigging in board elections. Sandra's hands shook as she showed me texts from Cynthia. Saw delete the Lopez file. Fudge the April numbers. Your job's on the line. Saw. She's got dirt on everyone, Sandra said. Mine's a college DUI. Greg's ex gets alimony. Cynthia threatened to frame her for fraud. That night, Lily asked, "Why does Mrs. Reynolds hate us, Daddy?" I pulled her onto my lap, searching for words. Sometimes, when people hurt inside, they hurt others too. It's not right, but it's like how Tommy Vaughn's mean because his parents fight. She nodded, wise beyond her years. Like that, huh? I kissed her forehead. Exactly, baby. Sleep wouldn't come. I found Claire's journal in an unpacked box, her shaky handwriting gutting me. Saw Ethan's strong for Lily, but who's strong for him? The treehouse is for them both, a place to find joy when grief's too heavy. Saw then my phone buzzed, saw stop digging or things get ugly. Saw another text, saw nice cameras. Too bad they missed some angles. Saw my blood ran cold. I'd installed top-tier security myself, how did they know? I checked the feeds, everything was clean. But the threat was clear, Cynthia had reach I hadn't counted on. I called my old Secret Service buddy, Nate Brooks. Need you for some suburban recon, man. His laugh was sharp. Thought you'd never ask. We turned my house into a covert op. Micro cameras went up in bird feeders, garden gnomes, even Lily's old dollhouse. I kept a cipher, journal dates, witnesses, discrepancies. If anything happened to me, Lily would give it to Nate. Like a spy book? She asked, eyes wide. Exactly, princess, I said, hating that I had to prep her for this. Cynthia upped the ante, scheduling in, emergency, HOA meeting to vote on Remo v. dangerous structures. Photos of Lily's treehouse, taken from Saw Inside Saw My Property, came with the notice. She hired 2 more enforcers who patrolled past our house, always slowing, always watching. Then the school principal, Mrs. Larson, called about anonymous concerns over Lily's unstable home environment. Her eyes said she knew who was behind it. One night, reviewing footage, I noticed Cynthia staring from her window not at the treehouse, but at Lily and me playing catch or reading on the porch. Her face held longing mixed with resentment. County records told a grim story. Cynthia had a stillborn daughter 15 years ago. Her husband left soon after. Her law license was revoked for stealing client funds for fertility treatments. She wasn't just a tyrant, she was a woman broken by loss, targeting families like mine to soothe her pain. Lily's nightmares got worse. What if they take you away, Daddy? She sobbed. I held her tight. Nobody's taking me, and love's stronger than their rules. Mommy and I built that treehouse with love. Then Greg broke into my garage, hunting Claire's memory box, her wedding ring, journal, and recordings for Lily's future milestones. Cynthia said you stole it, he stammered when I caught him. I sent him running, but the violation shook me. This wasn't about the treehouse Anna-Marie, it was about erasing Claire's memory. The next morning, Cynthia showed up with cops, claiming I'd assaulted Greg. He sported a fake black eye, lying about walking his dog. My security footage shut that down, but Cynthia pivoted, producing witnesses from her board claiming I'd threatened her at a meeting. The cops had to bring me in. Lily's screams as I was cuffed. "Daddy!" tore me apart. I snarled at Greg, stepping forward. He fell theatrically, and Cynthia pounced. He attacked him again! Jail was a blur, but Nate bailed me out fast. A restraining order kept me from HOA meetings, and Cynthia filed for emergency custody, painting me as a violent widower. My lawyer had days to fight it. Then Lily, defying her fear of the dark, biked 3 miles to the police station, clutching our family photo. "My daddy's the best," she shouted. "He got mad because they tried to steal Mommy's voice." The desk sergeant teared up. Sandra, watching, handed my lawyer another drive proof of Cynthia's schemes to oust families, demolish the playground, even bribe the old HOA president. At the custody hearing, Cynthia's lawyer trotted out a shady psychiatrist tied to Apex Builders, claiming I was paranoid. The judge wasn't fooled, ordering 2 weeks to hear from Lily's teachers and neighbors. Cynthia whispered as we left court. "That treehouse is coming down, and Lily will watch." I held Lily close that night. "Are we gonna lose, Daddy?" she asked. "Sometimes things look darkest before dawn," I said, echoing Claire. Lily added, "Mommy said bullies are just scared people pretending to be brave." I marveled at her wisdom. Claire's journal fueled me. Saw EVYL thrives when good people do nothing, but truth finds its way. Saw I planned our counter-strike Operation Hummingbird, after Claire's favorite bird. I moved to Nate's, letting rumors spread I'd given up, while Lily stayed safe with his family. She watered a potted tree nightly, our spy code, for safety. I worked 16-hour days, tracing Apex Builders to Cynthia's cousin, uncovering a shadow economy of inflated contracts and forced sales. 15 families had fled Willow Creek, broken by fines. Cynthia's ex, Mark Reynolds, reached out. "She lost it after our baby died," he said, handing over psychiatric records showing narcissistic disorder and paranoia. "She targeted families with kids, punishing their happiness." Social media led me to her Tim Stewheelers, fined for chalk drawings, the Patels, harassed over their garden. Greg defected when his son was shunned at school. "Cynthia's planning to sick CPS on you for Lily's counseling," he said. "It's too far." He revealed her endgame, rezoning Willow Creek for high-density development with Councilman D. Pierce. She'd get $1 million payout and a penthouse. The night before the HOA meeting, Cynthia called from an unknown number. "I know where Lily is, Ethan. Nate's house has such lovely windows." My hands shook, but Nate was ready. "She's bluffing," he said. I wasn't so sure. Texts from neighbors poured in. "Saw we're with you. Save our home." Saw the meeting was packed 200 residents, not the 20 Cynthia expected. She sat with her board rattled. Pierce smirked in the front row, unaware of the storm coming. I walked in with Nate, 3 ex-agents, and my lawyer. Lily was safe, guarded by Nate's crew. "This is irregular," Cynthia snapped, but Tara Wheeler, a former Tim, cut her off. "Let's talk about stealing Dula 50,000. The crowd roared. My slides laid it bare: Cynthia's spending, Apex's kickbacks, vote rigging. Sandra nodded as her EVY Denke flashed up. Greg stood, playing recordings of Cynthia's threats. "Find something wrong with their garden. These people need to learn." Pierce's voice sealed it. "Force out enough families, and the rezoning's worth $15 million. FBI agents blocked Pierce's exit, badges out. "We'd like to talk about Apex and city contracts." Nate Winked tipped them off. Cynthia's board abandoned her. Sandra resigned, vowing to testify. Mark Reynolds delivered the knockout, presenting Cynthia's files on cleansing families. She snapped. "Why do you get happiness when mine was stolen? My baby died." Her voice broke. Agents cuffed her for fraud and conspiracy. As they led her away, she whispered, "It's over." The room erupted, but I thought of Lily, Safe, and Claire, whose treehouse sparked this fight. Tara became HOA president, voiding Cynthia's rules. Greg started a kids' self-defense program. Sandra fostered a girl who'd lost her mom. The treehouse was named Lily's Haven, a landmark of hope, dedicated on Claire's birthday. Cynthia's trial exposed de la 73,000 in theft. She got 5 years. In court, she looked at me. I became the monster I feared. I'm sorry. Months later, her prison letter arrived, shaky but honest, about her stillborn Emily. Lily drew a rainbow over the treehouse, writing, "I'm sorry you lost Emily. Love doesn't end when people go to heaven." We got a reply, a drawn hummingbird, and "Thank you." Lily sang at the school talent show, Fearless. At our block party, Claire's recording played. Hummingbirds fly backward to remember the sweet flowers, but they always find new joy. A real hummingbird buzzed by, and Lily whispered, "Mommy sent it." Nate called weeks later. The FBI wanted help with HOA fraud cases. I laughed, glancing at Claire's memory box. I'm just a dad who builds treehouses. But as Lily asked for the story of how the good guys won, I knew I might take one more mission. Someone's gotta protect the dreams of kids like her, safe in their treehouses, loved and unafraid.